What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my review for 90 Day Hunt for Love, the Tell All season. This is season 1, the Tell All part 2. As you can see, Dustin is not with me this evening. Unfortunately, Justin is dealing with some family stuff, and so he won't be joining me this evening. However, I will be doing this review for 90 Day Hunt for Love, the Tell All Season 1 Part 2. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this video. More than likely will not be here before you long. A lot of times when I'm doing videos by myself, excuse me, they go a lot faster. But I hope you guys who have watched this particular episode are able to enjoy this review. So the first couple of things I want you guys to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So go ahead and mash it for a brother. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on everything that went down on the tell-all on the second part. This is the second and final part of the tell-all. So be sure to let me know what you guys' thoughts are on how everything went down. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So we start off where we left off with Cole and Jen. And for some reason, Colt feels the energy to tell Cole that he needs to be sticking up for Jen a little bit more. And Cole says, well, she has to give me a reason to stick up for her. And I completely agree with Cole in that sense, because Jennifer is coming off literally as a villain. As far as this particular season is concerned, I did not like her from the first moment that I saw her on this particular iteration of 90 Day Fiancé. And I'm so glad that I did not have to go through what she put Tim through. And once again, as I stated during the first part of the tell-all, it really looks like Tim has some eye makeup on. Don't get me wrong; it looks great on him. I'm just telling you that's what I noticed. We have a comment here in the comment section. Krista Marie, what's going on, Krista Marie? Thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy watching. Hope you enjoy checking it out. I'm not sure if you've watched Hunt for Love, but I'm so glad that you've decided to join me, my love. And Chris has got another comment up here. Let me look and see what it says. Is Dustin okay? And how are you? Dustin is okay. He just has a family member that is currently in the hospital. So he has a lot of stuff going on at this point. So I let him know that, he really didn't have to come onto the show for today. I just want him to be able to get through whatever it is that he's that he's going through. Yes. So I'm so glad that you have joined me, Krista Marie. And let me get this other comment up here. Y'all, I'm doing this all by myself. She also says, I'm dying to hear the tea. Yes, you are going to get the tea today, girl. You are going to get the tea. It's piping hot, girl. It's piping hot. And then one more comment from Krista Marie, and then we will move on. She says, "Oh, yes, yeah. Dustin has a family member currently in the hospital that he's sort of kind of dealing with right now. So, yeah, I just allowed him to have the time off." And she says, "Well, I'm here, babe. TTT, absolutely." So yeah, we start off with. We start off with Cole trying to tell Cole that he needs to stick up for Jen a little bit more. That he needs to do a better job of trying to be on her side and try to take her side on things. But I agree with Cole. If Jen is spitting out BS, then I'm not going to back her up on that whatsoever. And that goes for anyone. Yes, I'm going to have my best friend's back or my partner's back. But if your partner or your best friend is wrong in something, you really can't fully, be behind them 100% on that thing. And so I completely understand why Cole is not sticking up for Jen when Jen is clearly wrong. And once again, Jen is extremely toxic. Jen is extremely problematic. Jen wants drama. And that's another thing that I noticed about Rob. Rob tends to like girls who are drama queens. Sophie was a little bit of a drama queen. Every time that we saw Rob and Sophie together, they were always at each other's necks, always arguing about something or another. And so it was a whole thing. And so that's why once again, as I've said before, I'm so glad that Jen ended up picking Cole. But we get back into this conversation about the fact that Cole was in Elise's room the night prior to the tell-all happening. Jen says she didn't know about that, but Cole said that he was going to hang out with Elise. And she didn't and they had to make the distinction that there's a difference between saying that you're going to hang out with someone and saying that you're going to go to someone's room. Reality with Krista Marie says, which Jen is it? The one from Tim and the Brazil guy? Yes, this is Tim's Jen. So this is the Jen that was in a relationship, and I think they were married, if I'm not mistaken, married to Tim. So yes, this is the same Jen that we're all talking about. And no, I do not care for her. Oh, Jen and Jesse, right? Yeah. So yeah, Jen is she's very problematic, and I really do not care for her whatsoever. And she's causing a lot. She has caused a lot of problems in this season. And the way that she was kind of, it seems like she almost had Cole and Rob on a leash, and she really wanted to, to police what it is that Rob and Cole were doing with other women on the show, when she was clearly holding Rob and had Rob and Cole wrapped around her little finger. And I just hated seeing that. Yes, Jen is a gorgeous woman. Yes, she is very desirable to, I'm sure, a lot of heterosexual men. However, when someone like Jen comes along, my suggestion to you is to run the other way. But anyways, Elise is constantly trying to tell Jen, there's nothing between Cole and I. We're like brother and sister. There's nothing going on. And, Jen says that she cannot forgive Cole for going to Elise's room the night before. And Elise said she was sitting on a bed and Cole was sitting on a desk across the room. And do I believe Elise? Sure, I do. Could something have happened between the two? I guess that is a possibility. That's always a possibility when it comes to two heterosexual people in the same room together, especially if they have history. Not to say that Cole and Elise have ever done anything in the past, but of course, there's that possibility. However, at least Cole was generous enough to tell Jen what he was going to do on the next day. So I don't think Jen has any reason to be too upset about it. Now, whether Jen was actually upset about that or not, I'm not sure. Something tells me that Jen knows how to work this reality TV game and knows what reactions and what things to say to make things more dramatic. And so, if she's upset about it, sure, whatever. It is what it is. I honestly do not care about Jen whatsoever. I cannot stand her. And I hope that she does not show up on any other iteration of 90 Day Fiance in the near future. Because to me, she just comes off as a very toxic person that I would not want to be around in any way, shape, or form for any reason whatsoever. So there's that. But anyways, then we move forward to Chantel and Ashley. So Ashley comes out onto stage, and Ashley, while she was doing the Zoom calls or the Skype calls, whatever she was doing with Chantel, she came off as very demure, very even keeled, and a very cool, calm, and collected. And then she comes to the tell-all, and Ashley is a little bit amped up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this is coming from. I don't know if I necessarily like this side of Jen. I'm not Jen, but this side of Ashley. Ashley is coming off a little bit ready to rumble, a little bit, a little bit hot. It's really interesting to see. Honey, and reality, Krista Marie, reality TV. I'm jumbling up over my words all this time, honey. She says, homie hopper. Yes, she comes off as a homie hopper for sure. And then we have lovely Cherokee in the building. Hey, lovely Cherokee, thank you so much for being here. Lovely Cherokee says, hey, JoJo, just checking into the show. Love and support. I'll catch replay. I'm at work. Okay. I send you I send you. She put a trophy. And enjoy your evening. Thank you so much, lovely Cherokee. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. Let me see here. Let me. It's a thing to get to these comments, y'all. Work with me. Work with me, y'all. Krista Marie says LOL. Krista Marie says hi to lovely Cherokee. Krista Marie says hi as well. And then lovely Cherokee says always. Thank you so much for being here, lovely Cherokee. It's such a blessing to have you with me and watching. Same to you, Krista Marie. Thank you so much for being here as well. And Dustin Butler is in the room. Hey, Dustin. Thank you so much for being here as well. Love you, boo. Hope you're doing better. Hope you're doing well. Let me see here. I am all out of sorts, y'all. I am all out of sorts, but I will get it together, y'all. Just bear with me. And lovely Cherokee says reality. She says hi to Krista Marie, basically. She says hi to Krista Marie. So thank you so much for sending all your love, I love all the love in the comments, y'all. I'm loving all the love in the comment section. People, keep sending the love, and Krista Marie says, "You're fine, JoJo." Thank you so much, Krista Marie, because I'm still getting the hang of dealing with these comments and things of that nature. Because usually I have somebody else on the comments for me, but I'm rocking this thing solo dolo. But let's get to this thing, y'all. So Ashley comes into the fray, and she's Ashley is a little bit hyped up at this time. Ashley seems like she's ready for television, and this surprises me quite a bit. Krista Marie says, "I must keep up my professional face. You always have me laughing." Thank you so much for that, lovely Cherokee. And so, anyways. So Ashley comes in kind of guns a-blazing, just a little bit, not towards anybody in particular. And then we have Chantel's mother, Karen, come out. And Miss Karen is doing the absolute most. Now, Dustin told me that Chantel had a spinoff show of her own with her family. And I see that her family is used to the cameras. But Miss Karen was acting like this was the first time she had ever been in front of a camera, because she's giving Chantel and Ashley suckers. She's saying that they're both suckers for being together. Karen basically thinks that Ashley is a clout chaser of some sort, which, I mean, that's the pot calling the kettle black as far as I'm concerned, because I feel as though the only reason why Chantel is still on the show is because she just wants to be in front of the camera. But that's just me personally. That's just my personal opinion on Chantel. I think Chantel is a beautiful woman. I do love her personality. She does seem like a genuine woman, but Dustin said when he was watching her show, he really wasn't seeing it here for her. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to Chantel. I'm glad that she's at least exploring her sexuality and exploring what it is that she truly does want as a woman of a mid-30 age. I believe Chantel is in her mid-30s. You want to kind of have those things figured out as you go along, because, although I think it's great for people to eventually find out what it is their sexuality is, but I always think that it's so sad to me when someone does not have that all figured out until they get late into age. So I'm glad that Chantel is at least exploring what it is that she's looking for, or exploring what it is that she wants in a relationship with whomever it is that she chooses to be with. Lovely Cherokee says, reality with Krista Marie, take care. JoJo speaks facts. Sometimes he have me hollering with his delivery. He don't sugarcoat. Yeah, no, I don't sugarcoat at all. Lovely Cherokee, I do not sugarcoat whatsoever, honey child. But anyway, so. And then Ms. Karen just throws her fan across the set. And when Karen initially walks in, she walks across the entire stage in front of everyone. She gives Tim a hug, and then she walks back to her seat. Like, she is just taking in this moment. And it's like, for me, like, I'm not that type of person to where I just want to I want to hog the camera the whole time. I want all the attention to be on me. Like that's really never been my gig. But I'm interested when I see it in other people. So Karen is obviously taking this whole moment in, but she says that she accepts Chantel. She accepts the fact that she's, you know, excuse me, dibbling and dabbling in the lady pond, and you know she just wants to figure out what it is that she's looking for in a partner. And I love the fact that at least Miss Karen is supportive of at least Karen is supportive of at least she is supportive of Chantel, you know, doing this thing, you know, with Ashley. Reality with Kristen Marie says, haha. And so I'm 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 happy for Chantel. I'm happy for Ashley, and I hope that they have a great relationship. They did end up showing the video of Jen and Chantel kissing, and that completely threw Ashley completely off. Now I'm assuming that they filmed these tell-alls before the entire season is released, because Ashley said that she did not see this footage. And when we get to what Rob and Jen ended up doing, having sex on, I think, the second or third night of the show, everybody was so shocked. No one actually knew whether they had sex or not. So it seems as though they filmed these tell-alls a little bit early in the broadcasting of the actual show itself. So that's interesting to me. But you know, Chantel and Ashley ended up kissing together, and Chantel said that her kiss with Ashley was better than her kiss with Jen. To me, that kiss between Chantel and Jen was quite intense. Like, you know, women who are used to kissing women, like that didn't seem like the first time Chantel had kissed a girl. But anyway, so thankfully we end off on Chantel and Ashley's storyline on a good foot. You know, we'll see whether they show up on a future iteration of 90 Day Fiance. We'll see if that happens or not. I'm not necessarily sure if I want to see Chantel again. I'm neither here nor there as far as Chantel is concerned. But anyways, we move on to Usman. So Usman and his ex-girlfriend, she comes up onto the screen, signing in via Zoom. And it seems as though Usman has a type. Usman seems to like his girls thick, which I don't have no problem with that. I love me a thick man myself. I always love a little bit of meat on the bones, honey. That's what I prefer. I'm not going to turn down a man if he's skinny now. Don't get me wrong now. If you know, if he ain't got that much meat on him, I'll still take it. But you know, beggars can't be choosers at this point, child. I'm 35 years old. I'm about to turn 36 at the end of the month, child. Time is running out, girl. But anyways, so Usman seems to like him thick. He seems to like him thick, and he seems to like him a little bit older. He seems like him thick, like him a little bit older, and like him, and he seems to like the white women as well, which is no issue whatsoever. If that's your preference, so be it. You know, go for what you know. Don't base your preference of a partner on what society thinks you should be going for. So if Usman likes them a little bit thick, a little bit older, and a little bit white, so be it. Do your thing. It was just so interesting to me to see Usman's ex on the screen. And I just could not see them together. Like me personally, like I'm all about aesthetics and what looks understanding, what looks like it goes together. And Usman and his ex, they just didn't look like they went together. But if they had a good relationship, then so be it. But anyway, so Usman, you know, they show the clip of Usman telling Courtney that he loves her, and you know, they kind of get his reaction of Courtney choosing Colt over him. And you know, Usman said, you know, he was devastated by that decision. And then Usman's ex ends up chiming in and saying that she feels as though Courtney was kind of leading Usman on. And Usman seconds that thought, saying that, you know, well, you know, when I told you, you know, that I loved you, and, you know, you were saying that, you know, once Colt had gotten injured, he'd broken his knee, you know, Usman was telling Courtney that she could have told him that she's going to pursue Colt, and, you know, to allow him time to, you know, kind of, you know, entertain other women at the villa. So I thought that was a very interesting conversation. Do I think that Courtney was leading Usman on, maybe a little bit. I think Courtney was kind of torn between Colt and Usman the entire time. And so when you're kind of in that mid space of trying to figure out what it is that you actually want, and not make a decision as to whether you want to cut someone off and only pursue the other person, I can understand why Courtney was in that type of limbo. I really do get her point of view as far as that is concerned. I don't think that she was leading Usman on. I think she was just trying to figure out where she stood as far as, you know, who she wanted to be with. And I don't think that should have stopped Usman from entertaining other women. I think that was just Usman's choice for only pursuing Courtney, and just, you know, kind of banking on her choosing him. And it just didn't work out the way that he thought it would. And that was just unfortunate. And then we bring up the subject of Colt's male member, Colt's penis, and how big it is. And, you know, Usman reveals that Courtney told him that it looked like this. That, you know, and then Courtney then says, I don't think I told Usman that, but, you know, she reveals that Colt is a grower, not a shower. Not that I wanted to know that information. I do not care about Colt's, you know, male member. I'm not attracted to Colt in any way, shape, or form. So I really don't care how big it is, how small it is. That does not matter to me whatsoever. So that is what it is. Usman still throwing his jabs at Colt, and Colt is very vocal this entire tell-all, which I guess caught me by surprise because this was my initial introduction to Colt. So I really did not know what his personality was giving. And so on this tell-all, I was just surprised at how much he had to say during this entire tell-all. But anyways, then we move on. Then we move on to Rob, Jen, and Cole. We get back to Rob, Jen, and Cole, and we get to the question of whether Jen and Rob actually did anything, whether they actually had sex. And when this subject comes up, Jen walks off set. She walks away from her camera. She's not going to be here for this discussion. I guess she knows what's coming. She knows that the videotape, that beautiful bean footage is about to roll. So she knows what's coming. And she does not want to answer any questions concerning that. She doesn't want to answer the question as to why she denied it initially. She doesn't want any of that smoke. She don't want any of that heat. She's going to leave the entire premises. And that does not surprise me whatsoever. That's just the type of person that I can only assume that Jen is. She doesn't want to take accountability for the fact that she kept that from everyone that was at the villa. And here's my thing: Jen is a grown woman. If she don't want to tell y'all she had sex with Rob, that's her business. She don't have to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is a point to where if you lie about something and that lie is then later found out, and we have video evidence of you lying and you not taking accountability for telling that lie, that's a whole nother thing. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to lie, you know, you got to deal with the consequences of said lie if it is then found out to be something else later on down the line. So anyways, it's clear that everyone is a little bit shocked by this video footage being shown. They show the couples on the stage or on the panel, the same exact video footage that we as viewers were able to see. That it was clear that Rob and Jen had sex that second or third night of the show, and so Rob, you know, he has no qualms about it. And then, you know, Cole, the host that was there, once again, Dustin told me what her name was last week. I've forgotten her name, but the host asked Cole, you know, did you know this information before we showed it to everyone? And Cole says, you know, he and Jen went back and forth, a little bit about the subject. But then she eventually told him that they did have sex. And then Rob then kind of pipes up and says, you know, well, did she tell you that we had sex about 2 or 3 times? Now, whether what Rob said is true or not, I'm not sure, because if you have sex with someone and it is in a particular environment like they are doing on Hunt for Love, you're going to know the exact number of of times that y'all had sex. So whether Rob is telling the truth about them having sex 2 or 3 times, was it multiple times? Maybe, maybe not, because we didn't see Elise and Carlo having sex, and you know they were clearly talking about it on the show. So who knows whether it happened multiple times or not? I'm not sure. But Cole does say that he did not know that they had sex multiple times. And this seems to break Cole's heart. And, before they actually even showed the footage, Cole, they took a break after Jen left the set. And, Cole is in the back and he's trying to call Jen and Jen's not picking up. And Cole is, I don't know if I can get over this. I don't know if, I can forgive her. I don't know if we can be together after this happens. And so, so that's pretty much what happened on this tell all. I'm surprised that we didn't get reaction from literally everyone else about the fact that Jen and Rob had sex. We saw Tiffany's reaction to it. She was like, "I knew it," but we really didn't get actual reaction. Like, I wanted to know what Elise felt. I wanted to know what Tim felt, what Courtney felt, what Colt felt. I wanted to know what everyone thought about the fact that Rob and Jen literally lied about the fact that they did not have sex the entire time they were in Mexico. And then now we see footage of the fact that they actually did have sex. So anyways, to me personally, I hope that Cole and Rob are at least cool after this time goes on. I follow Rob on Instagram, and he does quite a few videos with his 90 Day Fiance people, other 90 Day Fiance guys that are on the show. So I hope that this does not, judge up any bad blood between Rob and Cole. I think that they probably be good friends if they were in a different situation. But I felt like this tell-all was a pretty good tell-all. Everything was done within a timely manner. I'm so glad that they didn't have a 3 or 4 part tell-all, because a lot of times when they stretch things out, it makes you not want to watch it. So I'm glad that the tell-all was quick and to the point. 2 parts. We bit, bam, boom. We get to everything that we need to get to, address everything that needs to be addressed, and then we get on out of here. Before they leave, Colt tells Courtney, what he's looking forward to. He's looking forward to Courtney's mother's cooking. It's very interesting to me that Colt called Usman a sugar baby when Colt is literally living in Courtney's parents' house. Like, that is literally the definition of a sugar baby, you being taken care of by somebody else. But hey, that's a whole nother thing. That's Colt's thing. But anyway, starting next week, Dustin and I will be reviewing 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. We will start reviewing that next week. So be sure to check that out next week. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $JonathanLee07. That's $JoNathanLee 07. Again, that's JONATHANLEE 07. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm surprised I lasted a whole 30 minutes with this thing. But anyways, that's just me, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Be sure to join me on Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. We always have a lot of fun on that show. Thank you so much to Kristen Marie for being here. Love you, girl. Thank you so much for Lovely Cherokee being here. Love you, girl. Thank y'all so much for being down there in the comments. And thank you, Dustin, for being here as well. Once again, I am praying for you and your family, my love. Love you guys for watching. See y'all next week. Same time, same place, same beautiful faces. Y'all have a wonderful and safe week out there. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all so much for watching. Take care. Bye, guys.